The things that worried me and put me off inquiring or finding out about adopting was because I was a single adopter. Even though I knew, they were welcoming to single adopters and what have you, it was just a worry about actually taking that step. It was me doing it on my own. Had I been single long enough? Had I kind of dealt with past issues for enough time? Would I be financially okay to adopt and things like that? So they were my biggest worries before contacting.
We were sort of 6 months down the line from having had a miscarriage, and I think my first concern was, will they just turn us away and make us wait longer? So that was the biggest worry, making that first initial phone call, is are they going to let us proceed?
I'm 64 and Sue's a lot younger than me, so that wasn't a problem. It was just my age we were concerned about. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a problem.
It wasn't an issue at the end.
It's at the end of the day, if you're healthy and everything else is fine, your finances and everything else, don't worry about it. It's fine.
There is still, unfortunately, people who don't feel that two dads or two mums are right, but you just need to be a good person. You just need to create a life for someone who maybe wouldn't have that opportunity to have a life like this. So, certainly once we looked into it and we know what we like, we're good people. We knew that despite us being, two men, we knew that we could give a child a really good life.
For me, it was having a disability, a serious disability, because I'm spinal injured, and therefore I have to have helpers in the home, carers, personal assistants, so they would be part of the life as well, and the kids would have to accept them as sort of another member of the family, because they're here, albeit part-time, but somebody's here most days in the morning.
Because I'm a foreigner, I did think that maybe there's going to be an issue, even though you say that wide range of people will be able to apply. But yeah, I think that was sort of, first thing you think what other people are going to think about you, and that comes to mind straight away.
Because I'm in my 40s, am I going to be too old to adopt as well? Even though I knew on paper it wasn't, but it was a sort of a worry of mine.
We weren't really sure how the agency would sort of perceive us as a couple. There's people who've quite often said, "Oh, he's older than you," and he doesn't look older. But when they find out his age, there's a comment there. So, like I said, we said before, that was our only thought, that might be something that would be perceived differently by the agency, and something they'd say, "Oh, hang on a minute, I'm not too comfortable with this." However, it's open to all ages, genders, and types. All different types.
Not all adopters are the same. They come in all shapes and sizes. And same as families, they come in all shapes and sizes.
You do worry though about sort of age. We're both over 40. So you do worry about things like that. You think about, are they going to judge me for how old I am? Weight, where we live. You do sort of start to think about all those things, and your mind starts playing games with you.
Yeah, there's still a lot of myths out there, I think, about adoption, and I think sometimes you need to explore that a little bit. And for us, it was the timing of when we explored that. We were in the right frame of mind to kind of debunk some of those myths and to go a little bit deeper with our research. Yeah. So we did that, and I think by the time we came to approaching the agency and having that first conversation with a social worker, we kind of knew what we wanted and what role adoption would have to play for us.
That to get to know us as a couple, really, and then get round the problem of assessing somebody with a disability, because obviously that wasn't something they did on a daily basis.
We made that phone call, and a really lovely lady took us through a series of questions on the phone and said that they would arrange for one of the team to come and visit us. They explained a little about what that initial meeting would look like, and Tanya turned up, and all of our kind of questions were answered within that first meeting. Tanya was really lovely.
Yeah.
She was
friendly,
really welcoming, friendly,
approachable.
I thought like a briefcase lady would come through the door, suited and booted, and it wasn't. It was a person like us.
Yeah, she was down to earth.
Yeah.
She made us feel comfortable to talk about anything, really.
Yeah.
It was quite surprising speaking to other adopters, potential adopters on the courses, how many of them had gone down the IVF route as well. I think we all came out saying if we'd known now, you know, we would never have gone down that route first.
I've always wanted to be a father, and I think that has kind of, I've grown up with that. My father was my inspiration, you know, growing up as a young man, and I think he kind of inspired me to become a good father.
I think what I was most excited about was hoping that it was all going to be positive and that this was going to be my one and only chance really of becoming a mum.